and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing the first part of my February wrap-up. My February wrap-up is going to be split into 3 parts. The first part being everything before Contemporary-a-thon, the second part being what I read during the Contemporary-a-thon, and the third part being everything after the Contemporary-a-thon. I have read a lot of books this month, so we're just going to split it up and start here. This is everything I read before the Contemporary. The first book I read in the month of February was Driving Mr. Dead by Molly Harper. This is 1.5 in the Half Moon Hollow series. I haven't read any of the Molly Harper novellas, so I decided to kind of go back and read some of the Half Moon Hollow ones this month. The first novella follows Miranda, a driver for a vampire concierge service, and her picking up her target, which is Colin, and it's basically just their road trip across the country. I ended up giving this novella 3 stars. I feel like it was a little short, which, you know, that comes with the term novella, but I felt like it needed a little bit more, so I ended up giving this one 3. I read was also a novella in the Half Moon Hollow series, and this one is Undead Sublet. This one involves a executive chef basically burning out and being told she has to take a break and going to Half Moon Hollow, knowingly renting a house that also has a vampire residing in it. Obviously this one's a little bit predictable. There's like a little prank war that goes on between the 2 characters that live in the house. However, it does the thing where it adds unnecessary tension like right at the end, so I ended up giving this one 4 stars. But this one was enjoyable overall, and I'm glad that these characters were added to the Half Moon Hollow series family, I guess. And I read what might be my favorite book of February, but I'm not sure yet. It was definitely my favorite book in the first half of February, and that is And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer by Frederick Bachman. This is a very short story about a boy whose grandfather has, I believe it's dementia, and is kind of slowly losing his grasp, and his dad and his grandfather kind of explain what is happening to him. And spoilers, I cried a lot. This book came as a recommendation from Murphy Napier, and I think she knew what she was getting into recommending it to me, because I definitely sobbed my eyes out. But I ended up giving this one 5 stars. Speaking of Murphy, next I read our loosely bound book club pick of the month, which was Neverwolf Wake. This basically is about a friends who die, and then they basically relive the day over and over again until they decide who gets to survive, and in that they decide to go look into the mystery of their friend who died before them. I ended up giving this book 3 stars. It was really interesting discussing this book with Dylan and Murphy in our chat, because we all had similar thoughts, but we all rated it different things. I felt that the characters were a bit flat at times. The twists kind of bugged me, but I really enjoyed it overall, so I ended up giving it 3 stars. Next I read How to Flirt with a Naked Werewolf by Molly Harper. This is the first book in the Naked Werewolf series, and this one follows our protagonist, who basically is trying to get away from her family, and so she goes to Alaska and kind of accidentally meets a werewolf who thinks he is causing the issues that are going around in the town around them. I ended up giving this one 3 stars. There was some bits that kind of were alpha male-y, and it felt like their relationship went a little too fast, and there was a specific plot point that I wasn't a big fan of, because I don't like this plot anytime it happens in a book, but it kind of made sense here based on the lore that I have with this world, but I ended up giving it 3 stars. It was a fun introduction to werewolves in Alaska. I read The Good Neighbor, The Life and Works of Fred Rogers. Like I said, I've been trying to read more nonfiction this year, and this one specifically won the Goodreads Biography Choice for 2018, so I figured I would check it out. I ended up giving this one 3 stars. It's about what it says. It's about the life and works of Fred Rogers. However, I feel like it's too long. I don't want to talk about it because Mr. Rogers deserves better than a 3 stars, but that's what I ended up giving it. Next 2 books I'm going to be talking about together, and that is Red Glove and Black Heart by Holly Black. These are books 2 and 3 in the Kirschbergers trilogy. I gave Red Glove 3 stars and Black Heart 4 stars. Red Glove definitely has that middle book syndrome going on, and Black Heart is a solid conclusion. This is the 2nd and 3rd book in the Kirschbergers trilogy, which I reread the first book of in January. This book series is basically about curses and con men, and I can't really go into what happens in books 2 or 3 because it completely will spoil book 1, of which is Orbiting Jupiter, which I gave 4 stars. This is about our protagonist who's getting a new foster brother, and he only really knows 3 things about him, and one of which is that he has a daughter named Jupiter, which is the title of the book. This book is definitely a product of its time. I feel like this book does a really good job telling the story. However, the ending is just super convenient, and I feel like the author went, okay, that works, and just kind of didn't want to go any bit further, especially with how long this book is. But I ended up giving it 4 stars, and I enjoyed it otherwise besides the end. I read Always Never Yours, which basically has a ton of Shakespeare going on, but otherwise is really average. The further away from this book that I get, the less I like it. I ended up giving it 3 stars at the time, but it just is so average, and there's plot points that I wasn't a big fan of, so this rating might change at some point, but as of right now, I gave it 3 stars. The last book I read before Contemporary-a-thon was The Art of Seducing a Naked Werewolf. This follows the sister of the werewolf in the previous Naked Werewolf book, and her trying to keep her family a secret from this guy who's wandering around and kind of looking into them. This one 4 stars. I feel like the love interest is an absolute cinnamon roll in comparison to our kind of like gruff and tough protagonist. There's some bits that just did not make a lick of sense, but it was enjoyable, so I gave it 4 stars. So what did you read in early February? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like what you saw here today, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a nice day.